Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you the meta. So yeah, typically I like to show you guys stuff that most things are not getting used online. But there is a new defense that I've recently jumped into, and it's just a really good defense. You get blitzes, you get people behind the chains, and it's just really good. Now, I recently jumped out of the Panthers playbook. I was actually, I've used, when it comes to defense, I used the Panthers, I've used Baltimore Ravens, I've also used the San Francisco 49ers, and I've decided I'm going to go ahead and use this Vikings playbook. And the reason why is that it has a lot of the formations that I like to use, and in particular this formation right here, which is the 3-3 odd with this linebacker cross 3 show 2. A really easy setup. You get pressure on a regular basis. You can get yourself some coverage sacks and stuff like that, especially with your roster. And I like to run a specific way where I can protect myself against people making reads and progressions and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and jump into this gameplay and show you how this plays works. I'm going to be showing you 2 different gameplays with it. This guy actually had a fairly unique offense. He definitely knew what he was doing. He was using this basically split backfield type situation with his offense. Really what I like to do with this particular play, I've got a looping blitz that kind of comes in like that, and I've got obviously my guys into seam flats, and I've got a third shell. I got basically a cover 3 shell with this, and this is all match principles. Now, what I like to do with this offensive setup is where the strength of the formation is, so the opposite direction of where the running back is. I'm going to take my defensive line, I'm going to shift them off to this left, and then I'm going to take my linebackers and pinch them in. Okay, and then if I'm shifting to this way, the blitz is going to come in through this side. So this is my free agent. This is a guy I can do whatever I want with. And typically what I like to do is I like to take this guy and man him up on the number 3 wide receiver underneath. So I'm going to show you, you'll see this in numerous different gameplays and how I like to set this up. Got this guy set up for the number 3 wide receiver, and I went with hard flats. In this type of situation, you could see he tries to drop it down to that route right there, and I'm able to go ahead and get myself a nice little 4th and inches situation. So he comes out of the split formation offset, and basically I decided to go and light this guy up with a cover 3 or with an all-out blitz out of 34. Pressure comes in, but he makes a really good read. He actually drops it down to a little spot right underneath there. I got more guys than he actually did when he put out in coverage, so it was a really good adjustment by him. Now he comes out of the normal flex snug. This is a pretty unique formation, and it wasn't something I was normally seeing. So it wasn't like a stack formation, but you can see these guys are really wide out. The spacing is completely wide out. So this is kind of like like a double stack, double stack formation out of the pistol or whatever. I started defaulting certain types of setups. I wanted to make sure that I had some guys that are going to float up, because if you got like a route combination like this, or a route combination like something like this, that kind of blows up your coverages. So I think what I went with was hard flats. This guy was running somewhat unique combinations, and I dropped a guy back in the zone, and then I think I spied up a guy right here. He didn't really make the best progressions with this, but he did catch me off guard right here. So you could see his little crossing route's gone. This guy's all locked up. I'm actually playing over the top. I've got a spy out there. In that type of situation, I think I sent the spy. He didn't have anywhere to go with the ball unless he threw it back to the backside of the field. So lock that play up. But he came back to it on a couple different situations, and he was able to go ahead and get a nice little completion. So I'm just waiting to see what he does. He's doing the split trips offset. I figured I'm just going to light this guy up with a blitz. Right here, I go ahead and jump into a cover 3 version of this with an all-out blitz. So I'm sending guys, 8 guys down, and actually kind of attack right there. So the pressure came in, caught him off guard. He had to make some regressions, and I guess he froze a little bit with his reads. So here's the defense once again. So what I like to do is where the running back is, I'm going to shift the line off, And usually what happens is this guy is going to be my blitzer, and this guy will be my man guy. I didn't have this set up correctly. I was just still getting the motor skills down. I think he went ahead and he flipped the play. So really the smart thing to do is to take this line and shift it this way, and this blitz should come in on the back side of it with this looping type stuff. So you can see I did make that quick adjustment. Blitzer comes in. Look at this guy. He's just coming in clean. You send out 5, you're just not going to pick this basic coverage up. Right here, I go ahead and you get a blitz, knock the ball out. He gets a fumble. I get a pick up the ball and get it in the end zone. So I was like, wow, this is really good play. This guy was frozen. He wasn't making any kind of decisions. So in this situation, he gets the ball back down on the 5-yard line. Once I'm going to go ahead and shift the line this way, and then I'm going to take the guy that's not blitzing, which would be the guy that actually comes this way. I'm going to put him on the 3rd wide receiver. So, if he's got a combination where he's like kind of got a corner route or he's got a flat route, these zone defenders are going to kind of cover that up. And I just need to protect this pocket right here for any kind of a streak that might go over the middle of the field. So that's kind of like my responsibility with Hamilton. So I'm going to go ahead and bunch my guys up and then run the play. And you can see pressure comes in and get the ball into a 3rd and 10 situation. So this guy was running a lot of like goofy auto motion plays. Right here, he's going back to this bunch set. I misalign my guys, but you can see the pressure comes in. He just freezes, and I'm able to go ahead and get myself a safety against this guy. So I didn't even set this up correctly, but I was able to get a safety against him. So gun spread wise slot. Once again, just real quick adjustment. I'm going to shift these guys over. Ideally, you want to take your linebackers and pinch them in. And then what I like to do is, this is my free agent. I'm going to go ahead and man him up on this guy because this blitz should come in. And then I'm going to use this guy and try to protect this pocket. And then I can go ahead and break away once that seam is protected from any kind of stuff. And what's cool about it too is me using a 3-rec hook, I can go ahead and fall down in the zone. Now this guy flips the play. I think I leave it as is. I don't make any kind of adjustments. And you can see the looping blitz comes in, and right here I get another coverage sack against this guy. So just a super easy setup. You're talking three minor adjustments, and the pressure just keep coming in. Granted, I do have really good inside middle linebackers, on this team, but it's just a really super easy defensive setup, and you have very simplistic kind of responsibilities. Now, one thing you could do is you could play sticks, making sure that these guys don't match and get themselves out of position, because obviously people have cover 3 match beaters and stuff like that because you have certain types of pass responsibilities. But fairly straightforward. See, he motions this guy out right here. I think I was playing sticks, but even another thing I noticed too is that like inside zones, it could be my roster, but this really shuts down inside zones too. So get this guy down, and he basically just checks out of the half. So right here, once again, he's got a short field. I'm going to go ahead and shift this line off to this side. So this is where I'm tightening things up a little bit. I'm getting a little bit better with my adjustments. And then I should man this guy up on the running back, and I'm just going to try to protect the seam, and then I can be a free agent after the seam has been protected against any kind of like streak. So you see a lot of these trip sets. You can see, look at that. So he had nowhere to go with it. I'm always getting leverage with my inside linebacker, so his run is basically shut down. Now he goes into his play, and I just don't like the alignment with this. It's hard to do that. So what's cool about this here play is that I can jump into a cover 4 against my opponent without actually kind of giving him any kind of a major tell. But so there was a slight little tell, but I can jump into a cover 4 type situation, and now he's going to have a little bit harder time situation. So you can see right here, he kind of threw in the coverage. Here was the defender right there. That's a risky throw, not a smart throw. He just chose to check it down. Now here's a play that I was really having some hard time with. Basically, I shifted this guy over. He would just quick snap this. This guy should be my blitzer, and I should have this guy manned up, and I think it might have been manned up on this guy. So let's see if we can see the play right now. So I actually left both blitzes. This guy's coming around, and I think he just got rid of the ball quick. This guy would just hit this little spot route and take it. So that's really a hard play to defend unless you're actually going ahead and doing that. But every time you come into, you know, these real common plays where you see trips tight end, we've got a little bubble play going on. He actually, he had a bubble, and then he had a slip screen over here. So this is a play I've never seen before. I don't think anybody's ran this particular form, this version of it against me. Hit me with a slip screen. That's one of the problems with this particular play. It's really a zone play, so you're going to get people that are going to be out of position. But he picked up a good chunk of yards, so that was a good play to go ahead and use against this defense. Right here, I go ahead. I think I jumped into. All right, so this is cover 6 Willie. The reason I have Willie in this game is because I am going to be using the safety a lot, and I want to basically have like a, you know, basically a cover 4 shell, you know, a box coverage over here on this side, and then I want to have man coverage on this side, and I can use this safety to do this. So I quickly jumped into Willie, and I don't think he knew what to do with the ball, but you can see that my defensive end actually came down and kind of caught him off guard with it. So right here, back to let's see here. I jump into the same. I jump to Willie again with hard flats, and he doesn't know where to go with it, and I'm able to go and sack this guy once again. So he wasn't really making a really good decisions. I was getting a lot of sacks against this guy. So once again, he's doing this really wide set. He's got these guys out. He's got a couple guys in the box. So I got to have at least 6 people in the box to make sure I have one hat that's going to beat the offensive line. So I jump into cover 4 right here, and he checks it down underneath in that type of situation, and I get him into 4th and 14, and he settles for field goal. So you're winning on defense. If you're getting guys settling for field goals, punting the ball, you're definitely winning. So here's a different gameplay. Playing against a guy using the Minnesota team. Set the line, offense or the defense up again. You can see this guy just comes around and just completely shuts that run down. So that's what's cool about it. Now he goes in empty. So I'm still using kind of the same setup, but I'm cross-manning this guy right here with the empty. And the reason why is he's a number 3 wide receiver. This guy actually made a phenomenal read with this. He was just using just a flat concept, and I think he was using stick. Might have been stick with this. I'm not sure what was on the other side, but I think he's just jumped in slants. Yeah, it was just slants. He's able to go and hit that route right there. So that was just a really good adjustment. He didn't use a lot of empty against me. I think he huddled in this type of situation, and what I did is I ran the same play. He now goes with verticals, and you can see I've got the guy band up underneath, and basically got him into a 2nd and 5 situation. So now he goes to I-form wing. I completely jump out of the defense. I think I go into the bear defense here, and I might be using cover 3. Yeah, I use cover 3 in this type of situation, and I want to go ahead and use this hook zone defender. I'm going to man him up on this thread of this wide receiver. So if this wide receiver does a deep post, I'm going to have a guy that's going to be underneath it. I'm going to take my defensive line, shift these guys over, and I'm going to use this guy down here because I'm not really worried about these guys getting deeped against me because they're not 95 speed or whatever. So it's not really much of a concern for me. And if these guys want to do like little crossing routes or anything stuff like that, I can kind of carry with it. So he does do like kind of a paro situation. He does pick up a few yards with it, but I get him to 3rd and inches. Goes into this single back set. I decided to go and blitz the house. I like to run cover 2 hard flats, so we just show flats right here. This guy is in the hole, but he just got himself out of position. I don't know what his angle was, why he was going over there, trying to hit an offensive lineman. That should have been basically a play where he actually was in the backfield, and that was a situation where that guy was, lost yardage on that. So here we go, back to the play that we're featuring. We're going to go ahead and motion this guy over. I should be matching this guy up. Actually, once again, we're going to slide this line over. And the way I should match this guy up is I should match him up on a 3. That's going to be the good defense right there. And I think I might have misset this up. Yeah, so I did I think I had him set up on the running back, and I realized that the running back was set up, and I had 3 wide receivers on this side. So I'm like, okay, I have to definitely protect the seam. I can't get myself out of position. So I slide back up the seam. He actually takes a shot at the seam, and there's my user right there with my star defensive player. So I'm able to go ahead and just single hand catch that ball and get an interception against this guy, because I just realized, okay, I've got to defend the seam. It's 3 wide receivers right there, and that was, you know, just kind of a bad situation. So once again, getting stops with this defense, I'm getting turnovers, I'm getting sacks. Just really easy to set this up. Set the defense up one more time, and I think what I did is I cross-man, because the running back was underneath. I cross-man this guy with the tight end. I probably should have put him on the running back. I really wasn't familiar with it. It actually goes into you know, basically a zone, fake jet zone, and be able to go ahead and tackle this guy behind the line of scrimmage in that type of situation. So that worked out pretty well for me in that type of situation. But probably the smart thing to do is to man up that running back in a single back set. I think, you know, huddled, I go ahead and spread my line out, tighten up my linebackers, and right here I think I did basically set that up correctly. So let's go ahead and jump into this play again. I think I didn't get that correctly. So let's take a look at the play right there. So right here, it's a situation where I'm going to go ahead and once again, I've got the single back doubles, and I'm going to motion, you know, let's tighten these guys up in that type of situation, and then we're going to go ahead and carry that over. So I actually showed this to you guys. So here, let's go and jump this formation. Still same thing. Just going to go ahead and man up that one guy. He motions, he jumps into a different formation. Off defense is set up, so he did jump into something else, but I do like how it's set up. You can see pressure comes around. He doesn't read it correctly. I tickle away that seam route, and I get another sack. So this is just a really, really easy thing. Now he's going into tight. A lot of times people like to play mesh in this. I'm just going to go ahead and run. I think what I did is I switched this up into, I switched into Willie. So what I love about it is you can quickly jump into another defense and not really give your opponent that much of a tell. Now I decided to go with a really aggressive blitz against him. 3rd and 16. I don't want to give this guy any kind of time whatsoever. So he does a play action. Pressure comes in. I almost get an interception. He almost gets the reception. He ends up settling to punt the ball away. He's just like, he doesn't feel comfortable with it. He doesn't feel like he's got time. And I'm putting him in a situation where this guy's got to punt the ball away from me. So I'm up by a couple scores against this guy. He's using the gun tray open against me. Once again, we're going to go ahead, let's see if we shift the line over to the correct side. Bunch of guys up. And right here, I actually use the other defender on the other side right here. And you can see that could be an opportunity to get another touchdown right there in that type of situation. So it's a really easy defense to set up more than anything else. So now he's got trip single back. Everything does kind of get picked up. He had like kind of a double motion play right there. He actually comes down with it. No huddles. I think what I did is I might have opened up my defensive line. No, I just kind of left everything as is. I had guy motioned out there. So this guy was kind of figuring out what he needed to do. He basically was doing that. So that's why I go ahead and jump into a play like Willie, because then it kind of throws him off a little bit. And I'm going to be showing him some kind of the same look, but now I've got man matching principles right here. That could have been a completion if he didn't rush that, but he's like, because of the blitz coming around the corner, he's forced to make reads a little bit faster, make throws and progressions a little bit faster right here. So right here, we go ahead and use the other guy, get another blitz angle right there, get another sack against this guy. 3rd and 18 situation. I'm going to go ahead and pretty much run the same play. I'm going to 3-rec hook, play the seam, and my responsibility to get another interception because he throws into it. This guy just didn't really know what to do with it, man. He was having a hard time with this defense, and I get another interception against this guy. So I end up getting a rage quit against this guy, and I just want to show you it's a very easy defense to set up. You just shift the line away from the running back, man up the non-blitzing linebacker on the running back and other positions. So once again, thank you for support, guys. Until next time.